Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV Current. I am Mori Rabila Lawal. First, the headlines. Presidency rejects EU's 2023 poll reports. Serap writes Tinubu seeks spending details of 400 billion naira fuel subsidy. World Bank projects Nigeria's inflation rate to hit 25% on sport. Amidst wins Stockholm Diamond League 100-meter hurdles. Now the news in detail. The presidency has rejected the European Union (EU) election observation mission report on the general election. It pointed out that the report attempted to ridicule the country's electoral system and its umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The report criticized INEC for the logistics problems associated with the election, its failure to transmit presidential election results in real time, and as well as pockets of violence in some parts of the country before and during the election. Presidential Advisor on Special Duties, Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, said in a statement yesterday that the EU observers' report is predetermined. He also accused them of bias and a failure to adequately cover a substantial number out of the 176,000 plus polling units. Alake added that the presidential election is the best since 1999. But the Labour Party LP, which is in court along with the People's Democratic Party PDP, challenging the outcome of the presidential election, also yesterday gave its support to the EU Observer Mission reports. Moving on to the next story. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project SERA has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to use his good offices and leadership position to urgently publish details of spending of about 400 billion naira so far, saved as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy as premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol. SERA urged him to provide details of the plans on our subsequent savings from the removal of subsidy on petrol, including specific projects on which the fund will be spent, and the mechanisms that are being put in place to ensure that any such savings are not embezzled, misappropriated, or diverted into private pockets. According to a report, the federal government has saved 400 billion naira within the 4 weeks following the implementation of the policy on the removal of payment of subsidy on petrol. In the letter dated 4th July 2023, and signed by SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadari, the organization said, your government has a legal responsibility to ensure that the savings from the removal of subsidy on petrol are spent solely for the benefit of the 137 million poor Nigerians who are bearing the brunt of the removal. Going on to the next story. The World Bank has projected Nigeria's inflation rates to reach 25% this year due to the removal of fuel subsidy. The World Bank had in January last year predicted that Nigeria might have one of the highest inflation rates in the world and the 7th highest in sub-Saharan Africa. In its June 2023 edition of the Nigeria Development Update obtained by Information on Sunday, the Bretton Woods Institution said inflation would be driven by a hike in prices of commodities in response to the increase in fuel prices. The removal of fuel subsidy by the federal government in June led to an increase in petrol prices from 189 naira to above 500 naira per litre across states in the country. Moving on to Ogun. Gunmen have killed the pastor of a Redeemed Christian Church of God parish in Abuleori, Obafemi Owode LGA of Ogun. Confirming the incident in a statement on Sunday, Soji Gonzalo, the commander of Ogun State Sose Corps, said the church was attacked at about 12 a.m. on Saturday during a vigil. Gonzalo said 7 church members were also abducted by the gunmen. The Owodeba Zonal Command of the Corps, under Jimo Omoni, received a distress call that some members of the RCCG, Desires of Nations Parish, under Ogun Province 22, Abuleori in Obafemi Owode local government area, were attacked during a vigil. The statement reads that 7 members of the church were kidnapped and the pastor killed. Officers of the Corps were charged to go after the suspects to rescue the victims unearthed, and the officers swung into action immediately. Gonzalo said the 7 abducted members were rescued unearthed, while one of the kidnappers was killed. He said many of the suspects sustained injuries during the gunfire exchange, adding that the joint team of the police and the Social Corps are after the fleeing kidnappers to capture them alive. The commander said that the body of the dead kidnapper had been deposited in a nearby morgue. Moving on to the next story. Nigeria Super Falcons jet out of the country on Sunday night for a 15-day training tour ahead of the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. The 9-time African champions will be based in Melbourne and will engage in friendly games to fine-tune strategies ahead of the quadrennial competition. The Super Falcons are drawn in Group B with co-host Australia, Canada, and Republic of Ireland. Randy Wardrum's first game of the competition is against Olympic champions Canada on July 24th in Melbourne. The West Africans' two next games against Australia and Republic of Ireland will take place in Brisbane. That ends the national news from BGI TV coverage this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. Presidency rejects EU's 2023 poll reports. Serap writes Tinubu seeks spending details of 400 billion naira from fuel subsidy removal. And on sport, Super Falcons off to Melbourne for training tour. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Correct. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number on the screen for advert placement only. Thank you for watching. I am Moriri Rabila Lawal.